What's up, my dudes? MXGP 2019's got another update. Any guys still playing this shit? Huh? I don't know. Maybe there are a couple of you, but still want to go in there and check it out. So it says, hey, Ryder, we just have released a new patch and we're pretty sure you'll love it. Thanks for your suggestions. We've finally increased the maximum number of waypoints that can be positioned from 20 to 100. Wow, I didn't even know 20 was the maximum. That's insane. Okay, that's like, yeah, definitely necessary, needed. Wow. Okay, yeah. Thank God. Thank God you went from 20 to 100. I thought you'd have been able to have like fucking 200 waypoint things on a deal, but either way, it also says new custom track online voting on private match. Okay, it says tweaked bike physics in order to reduce understeering and sliding effects. So, as you guys know, pretty much everybody and their grandmother and a half has been talking about this weird janky sliding, and it really didn't even exist back in MXGP 3, right? And when you go back and play MXGP 3, you'll know what I'm talking about, how all of that's kind of been produced around the era of like MXGP Pro. It's really not just a weird sliding effect, but it's the whole physics in general have become more janky and weird. It's not just sliding in the corner, but it's also in other areas as well. So we'll go in there and take a look at that here in just a second. But it also says fixed Mitchell Evans nationality. What the hell? Fixed a bug that caused a crash when exiting from a custom track race after the online races. Fixed door radial boots issue. Minor bug fixes. Okay, so basically what we got here is waypoints go from maximum of 20 to 100. And then tweak bike physics. That's pretty much what we got going on here. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so here we are on the waypoint creation thing. That was a little bizarre on how you get into that. That's certainly not how I would have designed that. Like, I was looking for it in the menu screens, like, where's the waypoint mode? Like, how do I get to it? You literally have to just go to the individual compound and then ride up to one of these little waypoint things before it even puts you into the waypoint creation thing. That's a little counterintuitive there, Milestone. You really need like a menu for the waypoint thing. But either way, all right, we'll standard re-entry. Starting at the beginning of the path. If you fall, confirm, whatever. 100 checkpoints now. So I can kind of place it like this. Okay, I don't really care. I'll just place one like that. We'll have one turn right here. So, yeah, pretty typical, pretty standard way to do waypoints here. But either way, now you can place 100 of them instead of 20, which is, thank God, like, wow, that's something I certainly would. If I'd have got in here and really realized that at the beginning, I would have certainly complained about that in some of my early review videos of only being able to place 20 waypoints. But that's just another little thing I didn't even realize about it. But, yeah, now you can place 100 of them. Very, very much needed here, Milestone, for sure. Because if you only have 20 waypoints that you can place, it's not even really a waypoint thing. It's like, you can't really do a whole lot with that because waypoints specifically, to be able to really make individual like waypoint tracks, you need to be able to place a lot of individual waypoints, because if you can't, what's going to happen is you're just going to put like less waypoints, in which therefore it makes to where you've got less of an actual track. You know what I mean? It's more of just like you're gliding over long amounts of terrain. It's not really actually like a track. But now that you can place 100 waypoints, now you can really make more individual little intricate corners and intricate, parts to where you're placing the waypoints and shit like that. So it is really going to expand it in that sort of sense. But either way, so yeah, there's that, and then the whole physics thing. Okay, let me take it. Let me take a little look. Let me ride this bike around a little bit, kind of feel this physics update or whatever. I know a lot of times when they do these little physics updates, typically it's like barely enough to notice it, right? Typically that's the way it is. I can notice it though. I can kind of feel it, like, okay, so what that just felt like right there, like when I tried to turn in that corner, I don't know. It's definitely like you can tell the actual turning on the bike. Not so much like leaning the rider around, but specifically the turning, right, in the corner. It's just different. Different for sure. It kind of got like almost a little bit of a looser feel on the bike. Like a little bit of like the bike's kind of moving left to right underneath my ass a little bit more now. That's kind of the best way to explain it. It's got a little bit more movement to it like that. But when you like go to corner, it's not going to have that slide out, spin out effect like it was having at the beginning and like you had really bad back in the MXGP Pro days. It doesn't really have as much of that. It's really like the ass end of the bike is actually able to kind of twist and move around more now, which I'm not necessarily like disagreeing with that at all. It kind of feels, I don't know, I'd have to ride with a little bit more, but just from like a first impressions type standpoint, it feels a little bit better because there's actually like a little bit more movement to it. There's a little bit more skill involved, like your ass end's actually getting out of shape a little bit, whereas typically it doesn't get out of shape, which is weird because that's not what it really does in the corner. It's more stable like turning in a corner, but I mean like when you land off of something or you're like going up a jump face, the bike will actually move underneath you more now than it would previously. So yeah, that's certainly something to it there, but either way, let me go get on another track, like an actual MX track. We'll test this out a little bit more. But yeah, that's the waypoint thing, having the 100 waypoints instead of 20. Massive improvement in that sort of sense. But I thought it should have already had at least 100. It's not really improvement. It's more like they're finally getting it more like it should have been when the game first came out. Let me clarify, right? You got to be careful because sometimes when you say massive improvement, makes people think, oh, dude, they really did good with this update. Like, dog, listen, they're just putting in what should have been in at the beginning. Okay, so I got us on a little Lamel action. Might be able to test that out. It's a pretty flat track and vibe type track right here. So let me get that ghost off. All right. So yeah, you can still slide out, which you want it to be able to slide out. Like, I know I complain about the sliding systems of these milestone games quite a bit. You want it to be able to slide, but like there's a limit to it, I'm really like pushing it in the corners right now to try to see the physics system of it, but I don't know. Man, that bike's bouncing around a lot, isn't it? Look at that. Like a lot. I don't know if that's a little bit of a bug in itself or not, but that thing looks weird. Like how much it's like going, the back fender's kind of like bouncing on every little thing. I don't know what's going on with that, but either way, yeah, it's kind of like the seat to your ass is more broke loose. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to explain it, but when you actually get on the gas in the corners, like it doesn't just instantly slide out from you as quickly as typical, as it typically would have. So that's kind of the general what I'm feeling from it right now. But I mean, I would say it's whoa. See, like right there, see how I almost slid out, but I didn't slide out. If that had been an MXGP Pro, I'd have instantly slid out, no chance of saving it, and I'd have died. Or if that would have been when MXGP 2019 first came out, I'd have instantly slid out, had no chance of saving it, and I'd have died. There would have been no saving that. That's a perfect example of the difference now. You can actually slide without totally dying at this point, But you still can die. Like, see what I'm saying? So it's not like totally to the point where you're never going to slide out, but it's definitely way less of that instant sliding out and then popping off the bike, It's way less of that sort of vibe. So that's all I can really take from it at the current point. So you just got to kind of get in there and see how it feels to you, and that's all I can really say. Any sort of physics improvement or whatever, it's all to each their own. Everybody's going to have their own opinion on it, so I don't, that's just kind of the way it is. But either way, that's the update. That's the newer update for MXGP 2019. I mean, it's just like, seems like pretty much every single update they've done so far is just putting stuff that should have already been in there, really, from the release of the game. So it's really just, I haven't seen anything that's just like blowing my mind. I mean, that little tropical custom track area was cool, but should that have been in there when the game first came out? Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, man. We're just going to see where they go in the future because I don't know if they're going to come out like paid DLC for this. I'm assuming they will because they have previously on all their games. So we'll see about that when that starts to come out. But other than that, that's about all there is to this update, boys. So appreciate all the support. Going to keep the videos rocking and rolling. You know what it is. Got to keep her going. So yeah, man, having a lot of fun. Still going in there and just making random videos on random motocross games. Just fun to do that to me. Like, this is what I live for. This is what I die for. You know what I'm saying? I love playing these games. I love motocross in real life. It's basically, it is my life in real life. So it's I'm definitely one of those kind of dudes when it comes to motocross. So either way, man, appreciate all the support. Later, dudes.